And we're very proud to be Americans. But you know what? The first administration to look at this issue got it wrong, and that was the Clinton administration. They put the organization on the list, as you heard, to try to appease what they were told was a moderate new president of Iran, the same president that was supervising the development of the nuclear weapons program, by the way. They went back to the Bush administration years later and indicated that it was essential that this organization be maintained on the list, despite any facts. And a suggestion was apparently made that there would be less IEDs blowing up Americans in Iraq if the United States insisted on keeping them on the list. Well, that didn't work either, and the second administration was diluted. The third administration is now in power, and as you heard, we have great respect for our political leaders. But last week, they got it wrong. Please don't become the third administration in a row to get this completely wrong. They have the opportunity to correct this. And this is not a very difficult legal or factual decision to make. Number one, take the MEK off the Foreign Terrorist Organization list. Madam Secretary, and your husband's administration put it on. You can actually redeem him by taking some action. Secondly, you must protect the residents of Camp Ashraf. What you saw last week was a rehearsal. It was a warm-up, and it was a test to see what the reaction would be in the United States, in Geneva, in all the European capitals, indeed in all the capitals around the world, if public, satellited, with audio, murderous action was going to be tolerated or not. So it is imperative that action be taken. And in all the press releases out of Iran, in fact, the government of Iraq's press release talked about the justification of what happened last week precisely because this group is a quote-unquote terrorist group. So the United Nations, the United States, has to take over the protection of these residents. It has to do so immediately. And most importantly, and lastly, not only the government of the United States, but the governments of Europe, all of the forces of organized civilization and rule of law around the world have to support the wins for Iranian freedom, both in the MEK and inside the country. And that has to be done on a continuous and committed basis, or else we're going to have more tragedies to be talking about. Thank you very much.
Madame le Président, Mesdames, Messieurs, c'est Ashraf. Et depuis le début que je suis à vos côtés, je me permets de dire que j'ai Ashraf dans mon cœur, et vous le savez. J'aurais aimé m'adresser à vous en persan, en hommage à tout ce que votre pays, depuis le début de l'histoire, et ça a été évoqué tout à l'heure, a apporté au monde en culture, en sagesse, en beauté, en hommage aussi au courage qui est celui dont vous faites tous preuve en votre pays et en dehors de votre pays dans ce combat pour l'état de droit et la démocratie. En hommage à ces 34 victimes morts à Ashraf, parce que j'imagine que c'est en persan qu'ils échangeaient leurs derniers mots, qu'ils disaient leurs souffrances et qu'ils ont dit adieu à ceux qui les entouraient. Je pense à eux aujourd'hui et c'est pour cela que c'est en persan que j'aurais aimé leur dire « Nous sommes avec vous, mais veillez sur nous ». Et si du malheur que nous avons vu de celui qui a coûté la vie à ces 34 personnes, il pouvait sortir quelque chose de bien. Comprenez-moi. Si nous pouvions donner un sens à notre réunion et à ce drame dont nous avons été témoins,